Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and we're going to talk about the astrology forecast for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead. We'll dig in with a Tarotscope after we talk about the astrology aspects. So welcome in, everybody. Feel free to hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already joined the channel. And let's jump right in and talk about these energies. Apparently, the energies are pretty strong. My light keeps flicking. So we have Venus conjunct Pluto, and this is going to be exact on Saturday. But we're going to be feeling this energy throughout the entire week, this whole week. And we are in a very powerful, rare time when it comes to the Twin Flame Collective, especially as we prepare for Venus to go retrograde in Capricorn in just a few more short days. So this energy really is bringing forward death and rebirth when it comes to cycles in romantic love. And this is really going to signify the possible return of the twins' lost love. So I do feel a reignition when it comes to passion within the connection that seems to have been gone. I know many of us have been feeling very disconnected from our counterpart. We've been missing that telepathic connection, and I do feel there's set to be an immense passion restored, transformation, and a sexual desire between the twins this week with Venus and Pluto activity. So I do feel this is likely going to trigger a lot of jealousy, insecurity, power struggle battles, and a lot of dark feminine shadow aspects coming up to be purged, especially in the karmic contract. So I feel the energy is triggering without a doubt. It can lead to people jumping to conclusions and assumptions based on misperceptions and misunderstandings. So I do feel beware of trigger spirals in the energy this week. We don't want to spiral back down into that negative cycle again. So I feel a powerful shift as we're kind of opening up to restoring a sense of intimacy within these connections. And it is very important to go deep within any triggers to clear them out, because that is going to create a lot of deflecting when it comes to returning to that sacredness that the twins share. On Monday and Tuesday this week, we have the moon conjunct Venus and Pluto as well. And the moon is in Capricorn. So this is going to create a lot of intense energy when it comes to being pushed into wholeness. So I think the energy is going to feel a little bit overwhelming in the beginning of the week. You might need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and to try your best to stay grounded and centered in your calm energy. Anchor into your own divine truth. And don't get pulled into some negative emotions. Don't get pulled in to any drama, because I feel there's a tug of war at play when it comes to karmic contracts closing out. And this is going to be an extremely intense week, I feel. Major purging, soul detox is taking place this week when it comes to the heart and the sacral chakras, as we're kind of coming out of that eclipse gateway portal. And there's a lot of unconscious triggers coming to the surface related to past loves, related to past abusive relationships, and, you know, distorted intimacy programming. So I feel we're really going to need to be consciously aware of our energies this week and how we are reacting to other people's dramas. We do need to pay attention to our dreams. With Neptune now direct, I do feel a lot of activity in dream space with the twins, and this is pushing us to release all of these primal blocks, all of these unconscious blocks, in order to feel safe and open with our counterparts. So Pluto energy really is pushing us to open up the heart chakra, to recognize what is needing to be cleared so we can finally clear it once and for all, and be open to receiving this deep soul love experience in the 3D reality. So pay attention to your dreams. Blocks are likely showing up in dream space. And I do highly suggest journaling about your dreams and to be mindful of this purging process this week, because I do feel we need to prepare for major emotional blow-ups this week. And that is going to really push us all to reclaim back our personal power, to embrace self-empowerment, and to really have those firm boundaries in place. If you have been letting your boundaries slip, this will be the perfect week to instill those boundaries again. So we are still in this preparation stage for union in February. And I do feel a lot more revelations are coming through this week for the twins in preparation for that reunion. So divine unions are going to start to manifest in the physical reality. And this week is an essential part of the clearing process to ensure that we are open to receiving. We have a sextile to Mars this week. That is really pushing the feminine twin to transform into her most highest version of herself. So I feel the energy is potent this week as we're coming out of that eclipse energy. And today, on Monday, we have Mars sextile Pluto. So there's a lot going on with the masculine twin today. Mars is in the 12th house in Scorpio at 11 degrees 22. And this is pointing to desires and actions springing from the subconscious mind. And I feel the masculine knows he has a mission to do. He knows what it is that he has to do, but because he fears open confrontation, I feel there's a lot of secretive planning going on behind the scenes that you might not be aware of, divine feminine. With Pluto in Capricorn in the second house, also in Capricorn, this is the masculine, I feel, pursuing material gains. And I do feel the masculine's going to see an opportunity or a window opening up, and he knows that now is the time to take that action, or this opportunity might just pass him by. So I feel with Mars sextile Pluto, this gives tremendous surges of energy to the masculine to achieve his goals and to really go after his passionate desires. So it is very goal oriented energy. It is very intense, but it's also well regulated. So I feel the masculine's been giving this endurance, this stamina with this shift today to finally decide on a course of action to take and to find the willpower and the determination to go after what it is that he truly desires. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, we do have the Sun opposition Lilith. So the Sun in the 10th house can mean glory and honor, but it can also mean scandal and disgrace. So I do feel a lot of shakeups, a lot of public exposure when it comes to the karmic contracts in order for the masculine to embrace his personal authority and to stand in his power of truth and to finally take accountability and responsibility for his soul contract with the divine feminine. And I do feel reputations are being shattered when it comes to the karmic contracts. Because it is about restoring nobility. It is about having good moral character and releasing anything that has been morally degrading, demoralizing, or immoral. So it is about justice. And I do feel with Lilith in the 4th house tomorrow, this is really bringing up a lot of anxiety and stress stemming around our origin, our family background, and the challenges that we've had to undergo based on our ancestral programming. So with the Sun opposite Lilith, it can work like this magic wand of power, resulting in this magnetism of polarity between the twins. And I do feel a lot of soul recognition in the energy. On one side, the psyche can really play a negative aspect with this shift, but on the other hand, I feel the Sun is enabling the left brain rational thinking, while the Lilith is activating the creative right brain thinking. So it is about signifying that dynamic between our inner identity and our repressed dark femininity, that Lilith, that dark moon Lilith. So the Sun is going to show us what we need to do to fulfill our potential and to really shine in the energies. And with black moon Lilith, I feel that's going to really spark primitive impulses and behavior, negative behavior in its rawest form. It's really going to reveal repressed sexuality in the energy. And I feel it's really going to expose the dark side of the karmic energy that's been buried deep within the karmic subconscious. And I feel This really is an emancipation energy. It is about freedom, independence. There's a lot of karmic energy playing out when it comes to darkness, evil, temptation. You know, what is on your conscience? Is your conscience clear? If you're living in truth, then you really have nothing to worry about. But I do feel allurement in the energy, and I feel the consciousness of the karmic feminine energy really is going to play to her own demise this week, because the closer Lilith is to the sun, the more it may feel like an eclipse energy. And I do feel a lot of taboo energy coming up when it comes to self-identity. And I think the karmic is about to be demonized this week in the energy, and the masculine is likely going to be tempted to fall prey to forbidden fruits of drugs. I feel that the karmic energy really has kept the masculine feeling numb and outcast through addictive behavior such as over drinking, overeating, sexual addictions, and drug addictions. And I do feel the energy is countering this behavior in order to make the masculine come forward to belong with his true soul family. And I feel energies are going to be rectified this week. I feel the karmic energy is untamed. It's very sexually forbidden at this time, very impulsive. And the masculine really is going to need to have consideration for others at this time and to keep an open mind. I think surprises in the energy. And I do feel the karmic is trying to jump to conclusions and to provoke the masculine to trigger the masculine. The positive aspect with this shift with Lilith is it can create a lot of charm in the energies, an eye for pleasing surroundings. And I do feel the energy really is gracious in the positive aspect, non-competitive and non-aggressive. On the shadow aspect of that, I do feel a lot of egotistical energies coming through in the karmic contracts. And I do feel the karmic energy is really demanding because they are desiring to be loved, and the masculine really is not giving them what it is that they need. Then we go into Wednesday with Mars square Jupiter. So Mars in the third house is very aggressive, very active intellectual energy. And I do feel that is when the masculine is about to make a very hasty decision. With Mars in Scorpio in the third house in Scorpio at 26 degrees 22, I do feel there's going to be a lot of conflicts in the false contracts. The energy is going to be direct and sharp. And I do feel overcritical, and I feel the masculine is really going to be highlighted when it comes to his own personal shortcomings. I do feel very competitive energy between the masculine and the karmic this week. And with Jupiter in Aquarius in the fifth house of Aquarius at 4 degrees 09, this really is suggesting the masculine restore his strong sense of moral character. And I do feel the feminine really is stepping into a privileged position this week as she really finds her natural strength, her natural core power, and really steps into happiness and joy. And I do feel this Jupiter energy is creating this desire for the masculine to come forward and engage with the feminine in this collective activity to help others along the ascension journey. So I do feel with Mars square Jupiter, the energy is very initiative. It is sparking the masculine to start something new, to take the risks he's needing to take in order to achieve large-scale success. And this is a very attractive energy, although it can be a little bit tactless. So I feel the best way to harness this energy on Wednesday is to not go into impulsive energy, to try and use some foresight and strategy before acting. I do feel a lot of brash communication, and I do feel the karmic is acting without consideration of consequences. And I feel with Mars square Jupiter, that transit really is giving the masculine courage to take on any adversities, even though he's feeling very threatened in the energy. And I feel very defensive. And it really is about the masculine being attacked in the energy. I feel provocation. And this really will cause the karmic energy to lose face. I think get prepared for karmic accidents, injuries. You're going to need to choose your fights carefully this week, masculine. Although you might be feeling enthusiastic and pumped up to take action, You are going to need to moderate your energy output because this transit is likely to burn you out very quickly, leading to physical or emotional exhaustion. So with this Venus and Pluto aspect, it really is about going deep within some childhood healing, some core childhood wounding at a deep, intimate level to push beyond any fear-based programming, to confront these shadows, especially when it comes to abandonment issues, abandonment wounds. Many of us have either a father or a mother wound, one or the other, or both. And when this Pluto energy comes into play, it's going to be very challenging later in the week for us to control our reactions, no matter how centered and grounded we are. So it is very wise to approach any situations from your most authentic self. Do not get involved in any power struggles with karmic contracts. Get to grip with the root of your childhood fears and resolve these emotional issues at the core in order to instill your self-empowerment and confidence. Again, Divine Feminine. I do feel this true power of magnetism, and I do feel the feminine really is irresistible to her counterpart at this time. Venus in Capricorn at 25 degrees 19, in the 12th house in Capricorn at 19 degrees 21. 19 is a karmic debt number. 21 is the closing of the fall of the ego, is what I feel. And I do feel Venus in the 12th house is suggesting secrecy and solitude. It is pointing to going deep within introspective aspects of your own personal character. And this is why many of us have been pulled back to spend that time in solitude. Because when we withdraw, that is when we can really go into the disappointment when it comes to past romantic relationships. No matter how emotional it can be, we do need to bring this out of the subconscious into the conscious mind in order to restore a sense of balance. I do feel the karmic energy is about to get exiled into the lowest class of society this week as karmic punishment. And I do feel get ready for violence in the energy. The karmic is about to come out fighting, swinging, likely going to be very violent because Pluto creates a lot of karmic influences that cannot be controlled. It can manifest as very, very deep, intense feelings, which can be very long lasting. It is about seeking strong, emotional, and devoted relationships. And although sex can play an important role, I feel that sexual pull that the karmic has to the masculine really is going to be to her detriment because she is very jealous. She is very controlling and she is very possessive. And I think the karmic has kept these feelings bottled up deep inside, and she doesn't really trust the masculine. And this is going to be revealed in a whole lot of negative karmic influences this week. So we need to really be aware of others' behaviors, not just ourselves, because there's a lot of possessiveness and jealousy, infatuation coming up in the energy. And that's exactly what the karmic shares with the masculine. It is lustful infatuation. And I feel there's a lot of stalking and spying going on behind the scenes that is about to get exposed, perhaps affairs being exposed. And there's going to be serious repercussions for the karmic contracts. And this can be very negative and dangerous. I feel the karmic is a dangerous type of energy to be dealt with this week. Likely heavy into drugs and criminal activity with the jealousy and possessiveness, the manipulation. I feel disgrace and embarrassment is about to be exposed with many of these negative manifestations that the karmic energy has brought through. I feel self-abuse through drugs or other forms of self-harm. I do feel a lot of these karmics manipulate with threatening suicidal attempts to not fall into poverty. It is very sadistic energy. I feel a lot of sexual abuse coming up would be like a very extreme example when it comes to the karmic energy, because it is about going into the depths of Pluto's realms, which can draw on a lot of deep, deep hidden repressed pain that we are here to transcend and to use to transform our life. So I feel a lot of faded energy when it comes to this aspect with Venus conjunct Pluto, in order for the karmic to really visit their own darkness, in order to regenerate themselves as well. And I feel The feminine really is stepping into positive self-esteem, really grounding that self-love. And I feel a lot of positive manifestations coming through for the divine feminine this week as she really restores her self-confidence, steps into popularity, wealth, and healthy relationships as part of a result of her positive transformation over the last several years. And I feel blessings upon blessings are coming this week as the feminine really enjoys the intensity of self-love and affection, drawing in the masculine's energy towards her. This is a very intense, loving energy, but you need to understand how love manifests. It can either manifest positive or negatively, depending on if you are in alignment or not. And it also depends on your own personal aspects when it comes to your natal chart. So there's a lot of variability in the energy that with that shift when it comes to expressions of love. But it is largely in due to how much you know your authentic self and how much you love yourself. So I think relationships are in focus this week. We are all trying to manifest vitality and well-being in our relationships. And I do feel the masculine is deeply attracted to the feminine as this power of attraction is intensified this week, both emotionally and sexually. So there's this instant attraction. I think karmic relationships are crumbling as the masculine falls head over heels in love with the divine feminine once again. Powerful union energy. So I think the karmic really is going to be triggered into some degrading, low self-esteem and negative energies this week. And that can really highlight that lack of self-love when it comes to these destructive emotions, these destructive energies. I feel the karmic really is becoming their own victim of betrayal and abuse. What we put out there, we get back tenfold. And I feel the karmic energy is about to get stung beyond belief because they keep repeating these negative spiraling energies, going deep within despair and extreme codependencies. So we also have Mercury sextile Jupiter with Venus conjunct Pluto. So Mercury in Sag in the 8th house of transformation in Sag at 5 degrees 17. It is about sharing resources. It is about going deep within spiritual research, finding out why we are the way we are, why the world works the way it works. And it is about having that interest in human behavior and human reaction. So I feel like an educational spark for the masculine, especially with Jupiter in Aquarius in the 11th house in Aquarius at 11 degrees 34. So this is going to play an important role when it comes to fulfilling our dreams, achieving our goals, discovering who our true friends are, our true companions are, releasing the false contracts when it comes to karmic social circles. And I do feel this can be a very harmonious aspect where the masculine can return to a sense of optimism, kindness, and openness. And I do feel with Mercury sextile Jupiter, this transit favors thinking about planning for your future. It is that broad, big picture overview, and it will allow the masculine to have excellent decision-making skills, to clearly visualize the path ahead. It is positive energy coming through, and I do feel communication is that key when it comes to open self-expression, stepping into fulfillment, making those healthy friendships, those new soulful ties moving forward. And I feel it is going to make the feminine more easily approachable when it comes to the masculine restoring a sense of diplomacy in his life. I do feel this is the perfect time for negotiating, for signing new soul contracts. And I do feel it is a major wake-up call when it comes to the masculine, releasing all of these stressful relationships. And with Mercury sextile Jupiter, I do feel it's like broadening the mind perspective. Questioning and curiosity is coming up in the energy, stemming around arts, esoteric, self-expression, and, just renewing our own sense of personal power. I think it's really going to be a day where the masculine is called upon to resolve the disagreement between the divine feminine and himself. It is triggering short or long distance travel in order for the masculine to further the journey towards fulfillment. I feel it's a very sociable aspect, and I do feel the masculine is likely to come forward with exacting that appreciation for the divine feminine. It is a lot of objective thinking, giving the masculine the ability to plan, to make good judgments, and to make that final decision call, to be open and clear with their self-expression, their communication. And I do feel going towards what is truly important to him. And then we close off the week on Saturday with the Sun square Neptune. The Sun in Sagittarius in the 3rd house in Scorpio, and Neptune in Pisces in the 6th house in Pisces. So Neptune square transit can weaken your vitality. It can create this energy of being hard to, it might be hard to get motivated or enthusiastic about anything. I do feel a lot of psychological and health issues coming to the surface. There's going to be major events, major towering events that can create confusion and disappointment, which is likely to force the masculine to battle against all odds. I do feel the masculine has been feeling very insecure, very guilty, a lot of guilt coming up in the energy in order to get him to come forward with that apology. I do feel a lot of disillusionment or worse in the energy, because the karmic really has idealized this falseness, and I feel the masculine is going to become gullible to major loss, scandal, and slander this week. So these deceptive influences surrounding the masculine really are about to go overboard when it comes to his personal dealings this week. I feel high stress competition within the masculine's world. There's a lot of predatory energy surrounding the masculine, trying to hone in on his soft side in order to take advantage of him. I also feel hypochondriac is going to be another issue to come up. I feel a lot of the karmic energies really do use hypochondria to keep the masculine stuck. I'm sick, I'm weak, I need you, which has really drained and weakened the masculine's vitality. So I feel there's a lot of sensitivity to drugs and alcohol this week. So please, please do not sink into old, negative, repetitive, addictive behaviors, because this will likely trigger a lot of paranoia and depression when it comes to mental health issues. I feel personal relationships are going to be subject to a lot of dishonesty and deception. Secrets are about to be completely uncovered and revealed this week. And I do feel it's going to create a battle that the masculine is going to have to overcome in order for him to restore his sense of self-confidence. I do feel the masculine is likely to fall victim to some major injustices, defeats, disappointments, and a lot that is going to erode his self-esteem and confidence. So it is about taking corrective action. It is about releasing confusion, alienation, paranoia, and releasing any dependence on drugs or alcohol. I feel the universe really is forcing the masculine to deal with his weak spots, to deal with his insecurities, his gullibilities, to deal with the people that have been bullying him and deceiving him, and to restore a sense of trust in this divine counterpart union. I feel hesitation and misinterpretation really has created a lot of falseness surrounding the divine masculine. And I feel there's a lot of controversy and scandal coming to the surface that the masculine is really needing to finally rectify this week, to really stand up for himself and to fight for justice. I feel the masculine is being backed into a corner this week. He's not going to be able to hide from this anymore. He is going to have to take up a fight and battle against all odds in order to restore balance in his life, to go after the true lifestyle that he deeply desires. I feel, there's a lot of betrayal and victimization coming up near the end of the week. And it is about the masculine being pushed into social causes, charitable organizations with the divine feminine, having to confront all of his fears and phobias, and to deal with a lot of delusions in the energy when it comes to some deception, subversion, and misinterpretation from the karmic energy. And the masculine really is needing to maintain a strong set of morals and ideas when it comes to this shift, finding his inner strength, removing self-doubt, and doing what is important to him to return himself to a physical state of health. And I do feel There's a lot coming up when it comes to that energy this week. I feel as we get closer to the week, if the masculine's able to resolve and clear these fears, there's likely to be sexual passion rekindled between the twins. This is the time of year for reconnection, and I feel this intense, profound change taking place in order for the masculine to rekindle this love, this romantic love, this desire, and this passion. And I feel because of Mars' involvement this week, the universe is lighting up the passion between the twins again, leading them back to one another for that unity. And I feel both of the twins are determined to find a way to make it work. True love is in focus. True love is in focus. So I feel the runner twin is likely to get in touch this week with this Pluto's influence, and I feel the feminine might not know how to respond to this. I think it might come in quite unexpectedly, but I do feel as hard as it is to resolve these past hurts, we are really needing to talk about this now after such a long time of no communication. So it is about defending your own safety, your own well-being, your own personal power. So deal with whatever conflicts you can this week with grace and forgiveness. How you respond really will set the tone for the energy shifts. Stay level-headed, stay focused on the future, because there is going to be a lot of unconscious anger coming to the surface, a lot of hostilities as we really break free from these false contracts once and for all. And I do feel this ego masking with the masculine is going to result in a lot of lashing out, a lot of dramatic power struggles with the masculine based on his ego expressions, his ego actions. And I feel this really is going to highlight his deep, deep insecurities. So remember, if the masculine is projecting his ego masking on you, it is stemming around his own inner insecurity. He doesn't really have a problem with you, Divine Feminine. He just has a problem with how powerful you have grown. And I think that scares the masculine because it really is illuminating just how powerless they have become in their own life. And that is likely going to trigger a lot of expansion in the energies. So let's jump in with some cards and see what else needs to come through for the twins for the week ahead with some cards. We will dig into the Divine Masculine first. We'll see what energies need to come through for the masculine for the week ahead. What do we need to be aware of for the Divine Masculine soul connection? Oh my, here we go, guys. All right. Yeah, on the masculine side, it is about empowerment. It is about the masculine finally taking ownership for all of his past actions, planning and executing a plan for his highest potential. The smallest step forward will be a leap in the right direction, because it's time for the masculine to liberate himself, to break these chains of addiction, restriction, and impediments, and to choose freedom in the energies. I do feel there's that dream energy coming through. So I feel the feminine has likely been coming through the masculine in dream space, and I feel the masculine might be having a little bit of a rough go deciphering these messages that spirit has been conveying due to some extreme disillusionment, because there is a lot of trauma and wounds coming up in the masculine's world this week in order for that heart opening to take place. I feel a lot of deep familial patterns, past life wounds. I think a lot of negative impact in the masculine this week in order for him to finally identify these negative repetitive patterns in order to allow healing and releasing. So major heart opening when it comes to love, forgiveness, and compassion. And I do feel, yeah, there's that catalyst. There's going to be a major catalyst event in the masculine's life this week in order to redirect him. I think that the karmic energy is about to completely lash out, create all kinds of challenges for the masculine, and it is going to be necessary for the masculine to redirect his energies to really nourish his mind, his body, and his soul, because this is a deep soul connection. And I feel the catalyst really is playing a significant role when it comes to the masculine's evolution as he journeys towards fulfillment with the Divine Feminine. And I feel the masculine really is needing to nourish his mind, his body, and his soul, and to treat his life as sacred, to release all of these addictive behaviors, these codependent energies, all of these restrictions, and to step into a healthier way of being. So what needs to come through for the Divine Feminine for the week ahead? New outlook. Major positivity, I feel, for the feminine. Really trusting in your intuition this week. I do feel you have this gut feeling. Your higher self knows the masculine is going through this energy, preparing to reach out. And there is going to be a new outlook. I feel many in the collective have recently experienced a lot of upheaval. And we've really been pulled back. A lot of the divine feminines have been pulled back as the masculine's gone through this upheaval. And rest really is needed this week to heal your heart, your mind, and your body, divine feminine, because we are preparing for that reconciliation. I do feel reunion is on the horizon this week as the feminine really shifts her perception, embraces this new positive outlook, accepting things for exactly what they are and seeing things from a different angle, really trusting in your intuitive hits. I feel your higher self really is working in your favor this week, divine feminine. So let's see what archetype energies need to come through for the divine masculine for the week ahead, what the main archetype energies are for the divine masculine for the week ahead. We got the servant energy. So I do feel the masculines really are struggling financially. We got the destroyer, so that's that tower energy. I feel the masculine really has used his lack of money, his lack of finances, and as an excuse to not move forward. And I do feel that's no longer going to work for the masculine, because there's that great destroyer energy coming in. There's a major tower coming in, because this intoxication really is creating a lot of destruction in the masculine's world. And I do feel it's time for this destructive energy to come through. There's releasing all of these intoxicating energies, preparing the masculine for this new life, going through this exorcism, this deep purging, facing all of his deepest, darkest fears, all of those inner demons when it comes to, you know, where he needs to restore a sense of hope in his life. And I do feel freedom for the masculine, and he is without a doubt being orphaned in the energy. You know, the masculine really has a stifled maturation, and this is due to that abandonment wound, and he really has sought out inappropriate connections, inappropriate surrogate friends and family connections. And it really is time for the masculine to go deep within that orphaned energy, that abandonment wound, to conquer these survival fears and to learn to embrace independence. So we'll see what needs to come through for the divine feminine side. I do feel the masculine is being pushed into service with others, leading from the heart, as he kind of breaks free from that karmic energy. Divine feminine, get out in nature. I feel really connect with nature, spirits, and animals this week to kind of help get you grounded. I do feel your sexual feminine energy really is being highlighted this week towards the masculine. We do have the femme fatale. So I do feel the karmic really is trying to use inappropriate sexuality for her distorted attachment to money and power, which is in turn illuminating and highlighting the feminine's erotic sexual energy with this heart opening. And I do feel the masculine is going to reject that very codependent femme fatale, that very shadowy karmic energy, because, you know, you are the light, you are the love, divine feminine, and you are stepping into, you know, recognizing your eternal life force energy, embracing this empowerment for yourself to step into service, to teach others how to embrace their own self-empowerment. And I feel it's really highlighting where the karmic has used her power to control people, to manipulate people. And I feel that the energy really is illuminating your benevolence and your compassion. And then we get the dilettante on the bottom of the deck, divine feminine. So you have so much deep knowledge that I feel is coming forward. And I feel you really are encouraged to find your creative outlet when it comes to your purpose, whether that be painting, drawing, journaling, cards, whatever it is, energy healing, because I do feel you really are stepping into entrepreneurial professions. And I feel the energy is going to alert you to this femme fatale, this karmic superficial energy. And it really is alerting the masculine to what it is that he truly possesses, because what you own owns you. And I kind of feel the masculine really is feeling like a big fool this week for denying the divine feminine. And I do feel as the feminine really steps into that pioneer energy, that final judgment call is made with the Lovers. And I think the masculine is about to come begging back on his knees. I do feel this denial of this emotional truth can no longer be hidden in the shadows. It is about the masculine fearlessly going into these repressed emotions and stepping out of this hypocrisy. I do feel the karmic energy is trying to exploit the masculine this week. And it really is the divine feminine's energy and light that is triggering this effect, as the feminine really expresses her wisdom, stepping into that divine feminine goddess energy. So there is going to be a major karmic rebalancing this week. Justice is about to be served. You know, the cosmic law of effect is in play, and it is about fair distribution of power. And I feel this misuse of authority is facing that karmic judgment within the karmic contract, because it is about that unexpected choice in love. I feel this obsessive passion that the karmic has for the masculine really has harmed not only the masculine, but all of the people that the masculine has been connected. I know it's deeply harmed my children, her sick obsession and these self-destructive behaviors. And I feel it's really showing the masculine where to find that great passion again and devotion, because the masculine truly does have unbridled appreciation for the divine feminine. And I feel he's about to be coming back begging for a second chance, confronting where he's lost his sense of empowerment. There's a lot of physical survival fears coming up. I feel a major awakening for the divine masculine this week when it comes to the abuse of his spiritual authority. And I feel facing a lot of humility in the energy in order for him to exclude this very codependent energy he's been in, to instill a sense of compassion and self-esteem again. So we'll see what else needs to come through for the twins. What else do we need to be aware of with this shift this week? All right, there we go, quite a bit. Bottom of the deck, perspective. So that's that Hanged Man energy. And I think the masculine knows there is a better way. There has to be a better way. And there's this pause for reflection and insight as the masculine prepares to take action, to dare to take action. Because there's a lot being illuminated when it comes to these worldly cycles that we're needing to close out this week. And I feel this illumination really is allowing the feminine to thrive on her goddess power, this positive thinking, which is inspiring the masculine to take action. I feel conclusions within reach. Everything is coming full circle when it comes to our spiritual evolution, our spiritual growth, and instilling these insights. Then we got the moon reverse. So that's a major revelation, a wake-up call, because the time is now for these fated destined changes. I feel brand new beginning. The end of delays is coming full circle. There's going to be a major change in direction. Major changes, because the masculine really is needing to face his fears in order to grow stronger. And this is going to trigger, with the moon reversed, an awakening and the opportunity for the masculine to improve his life, to listen to his intuition, and to take that guided action. So let's see what needs to come through with the tarot for the divine masculine. We'll see what energies need to come through for the divine masculine with the tarot for the week ahead. That Nine of Swords, that mental exhaustion, dark night of the soul, sleepless nights, stress, anxiety. There is that power struggle coming through for the masculine. A lot of battles in the masculine's world. I feel complete and total exhaustion, depletion, and it is like this tug of war between him and the karmic. But blocks are being removed this week. You know, the masculine's been holding back just how deeply he's been grieving over this loss, masking this pain through addictions. And there's about to be major truth being spoken out of the masculine's mouth this week, because the fated, destined change time is now. It is about consciously releasing this burden. The masculine has carried this weight of lying about how deep he loves the feminine for quite some time. And in order to release that heaviness, he is going to have to use his logic and assert himself and to speak that truth. So I think get ready for communication. The masculine is cutting out that third party energy. No more fun there. Truth, revelation, aha moment in order for healing, in order for a reconciliation. And I think this is going to come in fast as this karmic rebalancing takes place. Major takedown in the masculine's world with the Tower for his abuse of power. So a lot happening in the masculine's world. It's feeling very chaotic. We will see what needs to come through on the feminine side for the week ahead. What do we need to be aware of for the divine feminine, please, for the week ahead? Four of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. I feel just withdrawal. I feel the feminine really does have this truth, this awareness of, you know, the masculine withholding it. And I do feel the feminine really is breaking free from those negative mindsets, really breaking free. I do feel, which is in turn creating a lot of movement. I feel the masculine rushing in for a brand new beginning, wanting victory, wanting to heal this grieving, wanting to build a foundation with the divine feminine is kind of what I'm feeling. Everything coming full circle. That's like the World card coming through again. The masculine does want to rush in and have that victory. I feel an apology when it comes to just how deeply he hurt you. And the second you surrender and release divine feminine, that's bringing in that apology, that love offer. Because the masculine, you know, has been deeply grieving, missing you. So I feel ultimate fulfillment is on the way. I think you too might be dealing with some karmic power struggles this week, but you truly do have all of the tools that you need to move forward, divine feminine. So let's see what needs to come through with the Twin Flame Oracle deck, my handmade Oracle deck. And we'll close off the reading with some crystal stone messages. What else do we need to be aware of for the week ahead for the twins? Okay. Protection. Shield yourself from negative energies this week, divine feminine, because these transits this week really are creating a cosmic push, supporting movement forward, releasing those programmed beliefs with that Eight of Swords, like I called it. So releasing any limitations when it comes to these underlying blocks, because these major shifts are happening. This gateway portal is now. I feel a lot of higher learning in the energies. I feel the masculine is seeking out information. And the moon energy really is affecting these connections this week. That eclipse energy really come in long and you know, and fast. And I do feel there's a lot of balancing when it comes to the journey towards wholeness. Yes, this is your true twin flame. I feel a lot of twin flame recognition in the energies this week. So we'll get a couple stone deck messages for the masculine. What else needs to come through for the divine masculine for the week ahead, please? Sharpen your focus. So I feel this perpetual distraction as the masculine stuck to the karmic energy. The masculine's really finding himself constantly tempted. I feel there's a lot of obsessive spying on you, divine feminine. And I feel he's about to get interrupted. I feel the masculine does want some uninterrupted time with you to bring this into focus, because I feel the masculine really is concentrating on his calling here this lifetime, sharpening his focus. I feel he's been feeling all over the place during this disillusionment. But I kind of feel the energy really is triggering the masculine to come forward with that truth, to cut these cords. I do feel it is time for the masculine to pack up and leave home, to ship out for good in order to finally move on from this negativity, to embrace this renewal. It's really time for the masculine to find that strength to ship out for good. Divine feminine, claim your space, connect with your soul is kind of what's coming through for you. We got the meteorite and jet. So I think clear your physical space this week. A lot of us go through many spirals of nesting. So I feel a lot of nesting energy as you clear any unwanted vibrations. I think you're telling toxic people to get the hell out of your life this week, divine feminine. And these pretensions really are getting you to peace out from any dramas as well. So If you've been seeking guidance from elsewhere, I think the main message this week is meditation, meditation. Maybe you need to seek a hardcore tarot session. If you want to book a session, feel free to hit me up. But I do feel a lot of serpentine energy, a lot of activations with Kundalini rising. So get ready to face any triggers, unwelcome people this week, in order to clear that energy once and for all, because I feel a brand new beginning is around the corner, Divine Feminine, and you really are gazing towards the future, opening your heart, opening your eyes, and I do feel a lot of spiritual energy in and around the Divine Feminine this week, and I feel coming into that alignment with your own universal energy. So I feel both the twins really are deepening their perspectives this week, releasing any perpetual restlessness when it comes to coming together. I do feel the masculine is being taken to the altar, having to give it to God like the Divine Feminine has in order to go deep, in order to find himself, because he's been drowning in his emotions internally, and it's time to get back to reality. And I feel a lot of anxiousness coming up to be dealt with in order for the masculine to align to this moment in time. So protect your energy. There's a lot of intense emotions surfacing, and we're really needing to get grounded because there is a better way of doing things moving forward. And that's kind of what I got for the message for the week ahead. If you would like to book a personal reading, please feel free to check out the description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.